Ethna Felten and Cian Hughes, it's a great pleasure to be here today in the offices of Fingal County Council. Thank you very much for hosting Irish Startup TV.
Thanks very much for coming in to meet us. I'm Cian Hughes. I'm Head of Operations with the Irish Technology Leadership Group and also with SVG Partners. And I can talk a little bit about the Irish Technology Leadership Group after Ethna has introduced herself.
Super.
Thanks. Thank you, Richard. I'm delighted you could join us today. My name is Ethna Felten and I'm the Director of Economic Development here in Fingal County Council. A huge new focus has been put on economic development in local government, and so we have a team here fully committed to doing that. So I'm happy to outline what we're doing in terms of the ITLG conference and what goodness it will bring to the county, I hope.
Super, because already you've got IBM, you've got Sandisk, you've got PayPal.
We do. We have quite a large number of high-tech firms. In fact, in one particular zone, our Dublin Enterprise Zone, we have, of the 20 the top 20 largest employers, 17 of them are foreign direct investors, such as those that you've just mentioned. And we really are hoping to grow that, and we have plenty of land available, serviced land, and we have a very big welcome in terms of all the facilities we can provide for any investors that are interested in coming, or for the existing to grow their operations here.
So you're very much open to business?
Yeah, very much so, and I think that we are recognised as a business-friendly county, so we want to continue that, and I think with the help of the ITLG, and I think the willingness of the delegation to come over and join us here in Fingal is evidence to that we're seen as that.
Super. And on that note, Cian?
So the ITLG, we set up the ITLG back in 2007. It was set up by John Hartnett, who is an entrepreneur but also a very senior technologist with a track history of working with Apple and Claris and digital and with Palm in Silicon Valley. The idea of the organisation was to support technology companies, startup technology companies who are based here in Ireland, to scale globally, but particularly with a focus on Silicon Valley because the opportunity there is huge. And also to support foreign direct investment companies coming into Ireland, companies that we probably don't have as household names now, but will become the Googles, the Facebooks and the Twitters of the future. So that's what the organisation is about. We have a network of about 15,000 people worldwide. They're typically of Irish connection, and the whole idea is to leverage that Irish business network. And I think we probably have possibly the most powerful Irish business network in the world.
It's fantastic. And the event next week, it's being hosted by Fingal County Council.
It's been hosted by 4 Fingal partners: Fingal County Council, Fingal Chamber, DCU and IT Blanchardstown. And we have activities going on in all of the various different locations. So I can probably talk a little bit about that in that we have an event for the delegation in Malahide Castle to showcase the heritage and history of the region. And then for our conference itself, we're holding that in DCU, with DCU as a key partner in the event. We also have pitch sessions in IT Blanchardstown for our Lab 353 companies. We've actually been working with them for about 9 months. We had well over 100 companies apply for the Lab 353 program, and then we narrowed it down in various stages from the 100 or so to around 40. Then we took it down to what we thought would be 10, but we couldn't pick 10, so we picked 11. And we're going to have those companies pitch in IT at Blanchardstown on Monday the 25th. And we're going to choose another 3 out of that to pitch live on stage at the Helix on the afternoon of Tuesday the 26th in front of some of the Dragon's Den team, led by Barry O'Sullivan, current Dragon, and then we also have some of the top Irish VCs on that panel as well, choosing the final winners from the Lab 353 programme.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I think it's worth mentioning as well the 3 young Irish innovators that are going to be presenting.
Absolutely. Last year we had the first ITLG Young Innovators, and this year it was a huge success. We picked a school from Limerick and we brought them over to Silicon Valley to get the tour and also to enjoy the experience of San Francisco as well, which is effectively part of Silicon Valley these days.
Yeah.
But Ethna, you might be able to talk a little bit about the companies themselves this year.
There'll be 3 young innovators, businesses coming to the event, 2 of which are from Fingal, so Home Ec Helps and SmartWire, and then there's another company called DigiLabs from County Meath. And essentially these young people have created businesses that are really worthy of being exposed to potential investors. So that's what we're hoping will happen.
That's fantastic, because Zuck was only 21 when he founded Facebook, so it's really, you got to get in early. That's
These guys are secondary school kids, so it's a very exciting opportunity for them. And they get an opportunity to pitch to some of the most senior technologists in the world, including Craig Barrett, the chairman of ITLG, I might add, but he's the former chairman of Intel, former CEO of Intel, and he led Intel through the dot-com bubble very successfully. And also
Margaret Berghoff.
Margaret Berghoff is coming as well. She's one of the people that they would pitch to as well. She's an expert in cloud, big data and IoT.
She's very instrumental in the iMac, I understand, and designing directly with Steve Jobs out of Cupertino with Apple.
She's a very senior technologist and very experienced. She was one of our Silicon Valley 50 last year at our awards in Stanford University. Okay. So we're delighted to have Margaret over.
So really leveraging the Irish connection.
That's what it's all about. It's the opportunity for, I suppose, companies that are in their infancy over here to leverage people who have been really, really successful in Silicon Valley and around the world in technology, and to get them on board either as partners through their companies or as investors in the new tech.
And sorry, Margaret.
Well, some of the speakers we're having, we have Caroline Keeling of Keelings here, and we have Louise Phelan of PayPal. I think what's really interesting about that is these are Fingal-based businesses. In fact, Keelings, it's a homegrown business, and Caroline herself will be speaking about their success. Very, very successful large company who support Fingal and who I believe Fingal are very supportive of. So they're two homegrown speakers, let's say.
They're very much homegrown speakers. Caroline, her company is very strong in implementing technology to manage their business, and that's one of the key themes of our conference this year is agri-tech. Okay. So she's in the very much in that space, and the fact that she is using real technology and also in the IoT space to manage that business very successfully. But she's an incredible success story.
She is.
Yeah.
I suppose if I can come back as well, you had mentioned the event that's going to be in Malahide Castle.
Yes.
Now that's of huge interest, I believe, because we're going to welcome the delegation and we're going to welcome business people from Fingal, and we've quite a few, and we're delighted to have Minister Riley coming to speak, and the US Ambassador, Drew O'Brien, a few really key influential people that we think it will be a very useful networking event. Now the big thing that we're interested as well is we want to show people what a nice place Fingal is, not just to do business, but also to live, work, relax, spend their leisure time. So it's not just about being here and working. It's about living, enjoying life, being part of the community, and contributing and accepting the whole lifestyle of Fingal. We have huge assets in terms of our coasts, our various infrastructures for leisure.
International airport as well.
Our international airport in terms of business and tourism, that's wonderful. We have heritage properties, Malahide Castle, Ardgillan Castle, Newbridge. These are even concert venues. I mean, we have leisure facilities out in, for example, in Blanchardstown. If you think we've got the National Aquatic Centre, yes. We have the biggest shopping centre in the country. Wow. So we really do have a lot, and I'm nervous to list off things because I know I'll miss something very important. And very key to the success of the lifestyle that can be enjoyed in Fingal in the area.
So it's a wonderful opportunity for Irish startups to mix with counterparts and influencers in Silicon Valley, and also for our people from Silicon Valley to realise that if they're to relocate their business there, that there's huge opportunities, because it's really important. Like, what do I do if I want to bring my business to Ireland? What's my wife going to do, or what's my husband going to do? What are our children going to do?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we're located right on the edge of Dublin is a big advantage. We're not based right in the middle of Dublin, in the sense that we have a suburban lifestyle as well, which is quite a pleasant offering if you want to as I say, have the amenities of the countryside or the coast, while at the same time enjoying the advantages of the city. We have schools, aplenty in Fingal, and we're on the doorstep of all the universities, which of course for the kids that's great, but also for the employers it's great because they have access to such young talent.
Because the infrastructure to support.
Yeah.
And a quick question, you're originally from New York?
Oh yes, I am. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
And do you think has that been helpful? And Cian, do you think has that been helpful in better understanding the challenges faced by people moving to a different location, and also to help Americans to feel more welcome perhaps in Ireland?
Well, it's a very interesting question. I suppose for myself, there's two parts of it. Being from New York, having lived in America, being from America, but having grown up in Ireland for many years, I understand both cultures very well, I believe. But equally, I think I worked for a multinational. I worked for IBM and thoroughly enjoyed it until I joined Fingal County Council here. So I have a fairly good insight, and I hope I bring that into the economic development role here. I have a good insight into what the foreign direct investment companies need and what their concerns are. We really need to facilitate and understand what their needs are so that we can facilitate them, and we need to work closely with them, to just make sure that things flow quite smoothly. And we do have a new remit here in Fingal, where we're essentially, business and economic development was not at the forefront this time last year, and we've received, I've received really great support from our chief executive to just move it, front and centre as a role of local government. And we're doing that, but a real part of that is to get out there and understand, meet the businesses and understand what it is they need, what we can do for them. And equally, how can we help them to help themselves? Obviously, we can't do things for them. So, so we have a lot going on in outside of just the ITLG, which is a huge event for us, and we're really, really delighted to have it here to be hosted in Fingal. But there is a lot more going on. That I could elaborate on for hours.
That's really good. I really get a feeling for your enthusiasm, and that's super important, especially when bringing people from overseas. Really, really good.
You are correct that the more travelled you are, the more understanding you have of other cultures, and the more open you are to locating your business in different locations. So I think that is really important. A lot of the entrepreneurs that we meet, some of them have travelled quite a bit, and some probably a bit less so. But I think the ones that are more travelled have a better opportunity to understand how to grow their business into global markets, and that's important. My own background has been in technology from the late 80s, and I've worked with all different cultures from around the world through internationalising products, and also through bringing a number of companies into Ireland as FDIs. So I'm very familiar with the process and also the requirements around it. So your question is very on the point.
Thank you. And in terms of the event, are places still available?
There are very few places still available.
Get involved quickly.
So
where can people sign up and get more information?
They can sign up on our website at www.itlg.org.
Okay. And your website here, it's Fingal?
It's fingal.ie and economic development, and within that section, I hope not only will you look up the ITLG, but everything else that we do, and everything else we'd like to help people with. And I have to take the opportunity, besides the ITLG being very supportive of new businesses, it's something that Fingal, it's one of our core functions now, to support new and expanding businesses. We have our local enterprise office here, and we work very closely with many of the businesses that we hope to see at the ITLG, in fact, to either get off the ground, and whether that's through financial supports or through mentoring and various how to start your own business courses. We're really out there to get people to follow through on their really good ideas.
Super. And SVG as well are very active in supporting entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. SVG are the creators of the Lab 353 program, and we've worked with Aircom as well to support the companies that we've narrowed down, if you like, to
and just maybe
finalists.
A quick question on the program itself. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more if somebody wanted to maybe get involved in the next intake?
So when we run it again, we'll do a call out, and we normally call out through a number of different sources, through universities, through county councils and chambers, through our own network, and also through some of the incubators that are around the city, of which there's quite a few excellent incubators in Dublin City.
And it's a great opportunity to get involved with the west coast of the US.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity to meet some of the technologists that are coming over to either be judges or mentors. We put together a really fantastic panel of mentors, some based here in Ireland and some based in California, to spend time with the companies, and also a number of informational programs where they get a chance to meet, I guess, industry figures who are able to talk about their experiences of being entrepreneurs and growing their own businesses.
Fantastic. Well, Cian and Ethna, thank you very much for your time, and really looking forward to the event next week.
Very good. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank